Welcome to the grants portal. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through some application tips and tricks to pay attention to before you try and submit. I'm going to start off with some information about the organization profile. We'll move into funding opportunities. Then I'll talk about how to withdraw your application. We'll talk a little bit about navigating through the tabs and what you have accessible in every application. And then we'll talk about some submission errors that you might encounter and how to fix them. So starting from the top, we're going to look at the organization profile. Now, I'm not going to go in depth because we do have a video specifically for org profile certification that you can review and also have information about it in our applicant user guide. But you just want to make sure as you're coming in to submit an application that your org profile is certified and up to date. You just click into org profile, click the certification tab, and check that the date has been updated for certification in the last calendar year. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and click the Open Funding Opportunities button right here. Now on this screen, you're going to see some information about our open funding opportunities. You'll see descriptions, names, and deadlines. Most important, however, are these guidelines. So I recommend that you keep a copy of the funding opportunity guidelines saved on your computer just for reference as you're filling out a grant application. So as you can see here, I actually already have one open, so I can reference it as I'm going through the application process. When you're ready to go, you can go ahead and click Apply. Now, if you have already been working on an application, you were saving it and you had to walk away and you want to come back and keep working on it, you'll go ahead and return to your home screen. Maybe you'll log in and immediately access the home screen. And down here in My Application Tracker under the In Progress tab, you'll see that you have an application in draft form. So I'm going to go ahead and click into that. So first thing I want to note here is that withdraw button on the bottom left. You're going to see this throughout the application. Once it's submitted, it's also still going to be there. So you might use this under a variety of circumstances. Maybe you started working on an application and decided you weren't going to apply to this funding opportunity. If that's the case, you can click withdraw and we won't send you any reminders about the deadline that's coming up. If you leave it open, that's fine. We're just not going to consider, it will not be considered for funding if it's an incomplete application. And again, that's going to be available on every page of this that you're going to see. So looking at navigation now, something to be aware of is that you have this Invite Collaborators button over here. Now, we'll go more in depth on this in the user guide for your review and for your information. But if you click Invite Collaborators, you can actually go into the system. It's going to open up a form by clicking over here on the left. You'll open up a form and you can add however many collaborators you want to help assist you on this application. Just note that no matter who is helping you submit this application, the application contact is going to be the only person who can actually submit the application. This button right here, View and Print, that's going to always be accessible to you as well. You can click this button and it opens a copy of your application in a new window and you can save a copy of it to your desktop. And that is available at any point in the process as well, even if it's been accepted, denied, or withdrawn, as long as it is in this portal. So the Program Overview tab is your first main tab here. And when I talk about tabs, I mean these 4 items right here. The org profile has different tabs, but it's very similar in setup. So just know that these are tabs. You can click them to move back and forth between, or you can click the next button down here on the bottom right, and then a back button actually appears above the withdraw button over here on the left as you're moving through the tabs. This Program Overview tab is some general information about your program. Each required item will have a red asterisk. So I'd say go ahead and enter that information in as soon as you know what needs to be entered. Before you move on to the next page, I always recommend you click the Save Draft button. The system will not automatically save for you. And if you're ever concerned about your internet speed, or you have to get up and walk around to go do something else, or you have to go to a meeting, just always make sure you save a draft. You will be logged out automatically after an hour. So if you do not save, you're not going to be able to, it's not going to save information that you can access again. So Program Overview tab, again, is just some basic information about your program. Now, the program information tab is where we get into more detail and we're asking more specific questions about your program. The program overview tab will likely stay very similar among different funding opportunity applications. This program information tab gets to be very specific. Now, for more information about each of these items and requirements, please check out the funding opportunity guidelines. Once I've entered information here, I'll go ahead and move on to the budget tab. Now, the budget tab is where we want more information from you about your program budget. Again, this is not organization level, this is the program level. So we're looking at the total program budget, the total amount that you are requesting from this funding opportunity, and then we'll have you upload your budget. To upload, you go ahead, click this upload button, and you're going to have a pop-up window up here that will let you drag and drop your file into the system. So I'm going to go ahead over here and move my program budget over and drag and drop. Now, if you're not a fan of dragging and dropping, or it doesn't work for you, you can actually click this browse button, and it's just going to be like any other application and let you browse your computer for the file that you want. So when I look in here, I say, oh, shoots, I actually had a budget file in here already. So I'm not sure if it's correct. So I can click it and it will download a copy so that I can review. Let's pretend I've already done that and it's the wrong file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one. I'm going to come to the ellipsis over here, the 3 dots, click it, and I'm going to say delete because I don't need that there. And I'll say, yes, I want to delete that file. Now I'm going to close the upload screen. And what I just did with deleting the file, you can actually do that at any point in this application after things are uploaded. You'll see here's the upload button in the same place, but now below it, I have my program budget file. And then again, over on the right, the ellipsis where I can delete if needed. The last tab is supporting documents and certification. So for the supporting documents, you are specifically going to want to double check your funding opportunity guidelines. It's going to list exactly what documents you need to post for that application. So we highly recommend that you do that first and make sure everything is posted here by clicking upload. Once everything is done, you as the applicant contact are going to click the certification button, read it, make sure it's correct. And then when you're done, you can come down here and click submit. So when you complete this application, you're not going to have this many red buttons pop up. This is because most everything in this application was empty as I was working on it. What's great is in this error section that pops up at the top, each of these items is linked. So maybe I'm sitting here, I have no idea where the program location is on this application. I don't want to click back and forth on the tabs. Good news, you can actually just click this error and it's going to hyperlink you directly to that field. And then as you're entering in information, it's actually going to take away the red error signs. And once everything is filled in and completed, you'll be able to click the submit button. Upon submission, you will receive a confirmation email and it's going to have a copy of your application attached. But remember, you can always come back in, click the view print button and save a copy as well. And then we'll go ahead. I'm going to return to the home screen since I'm not actually going to submit. And those are some tips about the application process. If you have more questions, please always feel completely comfortable submitting a support ticket. You can review our applicant user guide for detailed breakdowns of processes. We have screenshots, we have very detailed instructions, and you can also check out our frequently asked questions. Thank you so much for your time today and have a great rest of your day.